Welcome to Lazy Gaming, a place where Player 2's writers can fill in a quiet day while being as lazy as possible. After all, what's lazy in the countdown video? Don't worry though folks, all of our 5 responses will be in one video. We're simply too lazy to go chasing hits by placing them in multiple clips. I'll now throw to Matt Hewson, who will run you through our next video.
We're all a bit stuck at the moment, not able to go anywhere, boredom slowly taking over our souls. What we need is a big, epic video game series with tons of stuff to do, people to stab and strange secrets to find. We need Assassin's Creed. I'm a big fan of the franchise, and while it has had some very low lows, the highs are some of my favourite gaming experiences in recent memory. So I've looked at all 13 of the main games, and countless spin-offs, and managed to put together my top 5 Assassin's Creed games to give you, the bored, housebound individual, something to tackle to keep your spirits up.
Number 5.
Number 5. Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Ye olde London is the setting for this merry jaunt, and even though it is choked with the black smoke of the Industrial Revolution, it is still a breath of fresh air compared to the stodgy AC Unity that came before it. Jacob and Evie Fry are the stars of the show, twin assassins that are immediately likeable and interesting. Syndicate also streamlined some of the mess that had crept into the franchise and focused on telling a rollicking tale that featured the likes of Florence Nightingale and Charles Dickens. A thoroughly enjoyable adventure that shed itself of an excess of baggage and just focused on giving the players a good time.
Number 4.
Number 4. Assassin's Creed 2. Assassin's Creed tested the waters, but Assassin's Creed 2 perfected the formula, taking the repetitive nature of the first game and replacing it with a more story-focused mission structure was a masterstroke, and showed once again that Ubisoft is one of the best companies out there when it comes to listening to players. Ezio was a dashing and likeable lead character, became so popular he had 2 more full adventures, the only character in Assassin's Creed history to have that honour. Assassin's Creed 2 really set the template for the franchise for quite a long time, and was one of the best games to come out in 2009. Thanks to recent collections being released by Ubisoft, it is still great to play on modern hardware and systems, so get out and play it if you haven't yet.
Number 3.
Number 3. Assassin's Creed Origins. Assassin's Creed 2 set the template, but Assassin's Creed Origins was the game that threw that template into the bin. After seeing the success of The Witcher 3, Ubisoft decided that the franchise was better off heading in the grand RPG direction, and Origins was the first step towards that. Following the story of Bayek, an Egyptian magi who was wronged by a secretive cult, Origins really took everything from the franchise in a new direction. The game still featured series staples like synchronizing points and diving into hay bales, but everything else had changed significantly. A completely new combat system, RPG skill trees, and grand quest lines were the highlights. Origins was a resounding success and a wonderful reinvention of the franchise that set the series on a path that will keep it relevant for years.
Number 2.
Number 2. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Look, pirates are cool, it's a fact, and while there are some great pirate games out there, personally the best swashbuckling experience you can buy is Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I remember being so down on the franchise after Assassin's Creed 3 that I gave Black Flag no chance of being any good. Boy was I wrong. Edward Kenway was a lovable scallywag that finds redemption through the Creed and steals a whole lot of gold in the process. The real star of this game though is the setting, the stunning Caribbean brought to life in a way no game has done before or since. Black Flag also added a brilliant naval battle system that became an addiction for many, I'm still playing this game today thanks to a timely Switch release, and it hasn't lost any of its charm or appeal over the years. A wonderful title without a doubt.
And number 1.
Where we begin does not define who we will become.
Number 1. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. What do I say about Odyssey? Well, firstly, it is one of my favourite games of the generation. Secondly, it took the formula laid out in Origins and perfected it. There is no doubt that Odyssey is first and foremost an RPG, not an action-adventure game like previous titles. There are multiple dialogue choices, factions, skill trees, crafting, and a world so big yet so full of life that it is easy to get lost in the best ways. Finally, Odyssey is the first game in the franchise to really dive into the sci-fi element that has always been present but never explored well. This is the game that finally makes sense of all that precursor mumbo-jumbo that has been littered throughout the franchise. To top it all off, I fell a little in love with Cassandra. Her attitude, her approach, and her brilliant voice acting makes her my favourite character in the entire series. It took me over 100 hours to finish Odyssey and its DLC, and frankly I enjoyed it so much I'm thinking of starting it again. If this is the direction of the franchise for the future, well, you can consider me a fan for a long time to come. So there you have it, my favourite games in the Ubisoft's prolific franchise. The best part of it all, these 5 games still play wonderfully today and are often on sale for cheap on both PC and modern consoles, so they are the perfect antidote for isolation blues. So why not dive into the nearest haycart and stab a nearby thug? Who knows, you might even like it.
So that's this episode of Lazy Gaming done and dusted. If you enjoyed it, then be sure to like, share and subscribe to this channel, and of course hit that notification bell, that way you're alerted to all the awesome content that can only be found on this channel. Visit the website, player2.net.au, and explore all of our awesome written content as well. If you're a fan of what we do in either the written or video spaces, then please consider becoming a patron of Player 2, where you can help the P2 dream to grow. Patreon.com/player2au. Until next time, that's been this episode of Lazy Gaming, and frankly, video editing. We'll see you next time.